Hello and welcome aboard to this week's In Orbit, your weekly news station dedicated to all things space. Be sure to follow us to keep up to date with the latest news orbiting around the globe. Our first story for today: NASA formally certified SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft for transporting astronauts to and from the International Space Station, clearing the way for a November 14th launch. Agency officials completed the certification of the spacecraft by signing a document known as a Human Rating Certification Plan during a flight readiness review for the Crew 1 mission November 10th. That confirmed that SpaceX met all of NASA's requirements for safely carrying astronauts on the Crew Dragon spacecraft and Falcon 9 launch vehicle. The certification and completion of the flight readiness review clears the way for the launch of the Crew 1 mission November 14th from the Kennedy Space Center. The launch will send NASA astronauts Mike Hopkins, Vic Glover, and Shannon Walker, and JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi to the ISS for a 6-month stay. The launch remains on schedule despite SpaceX making a minor repair to the Falcon 9 rocket. The company said it would swap out a valve on the rocket's upper stage after a review of testing data. That pushed back a static fire test of the rocket's first stage by a day to November 11th. Next up, the U.S. Space Force was a signature initiative of the Trump administration. President-elect Joe Biden has said he plans to reverse a number of Trump policies, but is expected to continue the support of the U.S. Space Force. If Space Force did not already exist, I think Joe Biden probably would not create it. However, I think it's pretty unlikely that Biden would seriously try to eliminate Space Force at this point, said David Burbach, Associate Professor of National Security Affairs at the U.S. Naval War College. Burbach said his views are his own and he does not speak for the government. The Space Force is enshrined in Title 10 of the U.S. Code as the sixth branch of the U.S. Armed Service, so any move to dismantle it will require congressional legislation. With Republicans poised to control the Senate, that would be a non-starter, Burbach said. No way the Republican Senate would go along with undoing that accomplishment for Trump. He noted that there was a broad consensus in Washington that space is a contested domain. Even though many Democrats oppose creating a separate service, they agree that the Pentagon needs to do more to address the threats to U.S. space assets, Burbach said. Space Force is not the solution that the Democrats would have preferred, but given that it's been done, I think the focus will be trying to make it work effectively. Our final story for today: a Senate appropriations bill would provide NASA with only a small fraction of the funding it requested for lunar lander development, putting any chance of returning humans to the moon by 2024 in jeopardy. Senate appropriators released a set of fiscal year 2021 spending bills on November 10th, including the Commerce, Justice, and Science bill that funds NASA. Appropriators do not plan to mark up the bills, but instead use them as a basis of negotiation over the next month with the House, which passed its spending bill in the summer. The Senate CJS spending bill offers $23.495 billion for NASA, $866 million more than the House bill, but $1.75 billion below the administration's request for fiscal year 2021. One major area that comes up short is NASA's Human Landing System program. NASA sought $3.2 billion for HLS to support development of one or more crewed lunar landers as part of its Artemis program. The Senate bill, though, reverses $1 billion for the effort, more than the approximate $600 million in the House, but far short of the agency's request. It also appears unlikely that an incoming Biden administration would pursue a 2024 landing. The campaign said little about space, and beyond a passage in the party platform that endorsed human space exploration plans, did not set any dates. And that concludes all the latest earth-shattering news for this week. Follow us to keep up to date with more exciting stories. Also, follow us on our other social media to support the content we make. Stay safe and see you in orbit.